Hi everyone, welcome to Pure Tarot. Welcome Libra in particular. This is your reading, your 2022 yearly predictions. We're going to look at the whole year globally. I'm going to pull all upright cards, one card per month. And I will clarify with both upright and reversed cards to get the full picture. So let's just get set up. Let's get those beautiful cards for you. And let's explore the year. So 2 cards fell out. I will take them. And I will leave the deck as is and just start pulling. Okay, so January is the 10 of Wands. February is the King of Wands. March is the Ace of Wands. April is the Knight of Pentacles. May is the 6 of Pentacles. June is the High Priestess. July is the 3 of Cups. August is the 5 of Pentacles. September is the 10 of Pentacles. October is the 2 of Cups. November is the Page of Cups. And December is the 10 of Swords. Let me get some clarifiers right away. So we have more meat on the bone. So it's interesting, you start with a 10, you end with a 10. And you also have another 10 in between here. Well, in between, in September. I'm going to get at least the first half of the year with the clarifiers, and then we'll start exploring your life, your year. Okay, let me just... There's a lot more that came out. Interesting. Okay. Well, you know what? It makes me want to pull everything. So let me just follow that punch and get everything down. And I got the exact number of cards. That's amazing. Super happy. Okay. Now I have the full view. I will share with you. Give me a second. I just want to make sure I get the cards aligned. All right. So let's look at the first quarter of the year quickly. 10 of Wands, King of Wands, Ace of Wands. The 10 of Wands is clarified by the Hermit, the King of Wands by the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Ace of Wands by the Page of Wands. As you can tell, there's a lot of wands here. So it's quite interesting. There's so much, I have the word oomph. The first 3 months of the year are quite charged with passion. There's a lot of, it's ignited, right? It feels on fire. So it's a really interesting energy. I mean, it does start a little heavy in terms of, I think you're extremely busy. I think you're juggling your responsibilities. And when I say juggling, I don't mean that you're playing with them. I really mean that you have to multitask. You have a lot of like, how do you say, a lot of pans on the stove. Like, you've got many things, all your burners going. I don't know how to say it. There's an expression, but it's slipping my mind. Anyways, and you see the 10 of Wands has the Hermit as a clarifier here. And so I think you crumble under all your responsibilities. I think it makes you shy away from the world. I think you have a little bit of a kind of a, you too much. You're a little bit like, that's a lot, right? That kind of attitude or that kind of feeling for you. But at the same time, I think that by retreating like this, it gives you the concentration necessary to, apply yourself, get things done. You're extremely meticulous, organized. You're actually, you have an incredible sense of duty, and that's admirable. So I want you to know that. And here in February, with the King of Wands, with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, it's great because you can finally let loose a little bit. I think, you've probably tied a few loose ends. Probably, let's say, it's a 10 of Wands. Let's say you had 10 things going on, right? So maybe you've completed, 5 or 6 out of 10. And so you can finally breathe here. And I think it makes you feel on top of the world here with the King of Wands. I think you feel good about yourself. I think it has empowered you to complete your tasks, to see the results probably. And you can let loose, you probably have some extra money that you can actually spend. You're probably quite satisfied with that as well. And I think it makes you, I don't know, proud. I sense a lot of healthy pride here. It's beautiful. Bravo, Libra. Job well done. And then March here, we have the Ace of Wands with the Page of Wands, right? So what a beautiful combination to, kind of end the winter, eventually start the spring slowly, right? There's a beautiful budding idea here. I think, if you've completed a few of your projects, you do now have more time to take on new things, and I think it's extremely stimulating for you. And I feel that you're quite happy, and I even see you do this little happy dance, right? I think you are welcoming as well. I don't know why I have the word welcoming, but it feels like you're welcoming in either fresh ideas from others. I feel there's an exchange of ideas. It's not just you putting out things into the world. I really feel a lot of reciprocity. And I say this because this wand here is talking to this wand here. And it really feels like, a meeting in the sense of one for one, right? So it's very equal, fair, totally up your alley, right? Because I think you love that. I think you really enjoy when the synergy, especially for stimulating projects and ideas, and and I think you really enjoy when you sense the harmony in the relationships that are there surrounding those projects or those work endeavors or whatever they may be, right? But I think you really enjoy how can I say, like, working together. I think that's what it is. So that's amazing. Incredible start of the year here. So April is just as beautiful. So let me just give you a rundown on the cards here. So the Knight of Pentacles has the Queen of Cups as a clarifier. The Six of Pentacles has the Queen of Swords. And the High Priestess has the Sun. So the summer months, especially June here. Let's look at July quickly. The Three of Cups with the Three of Pentacles. So, I mean, it's a beautiful kind of season. It literally, like, the spring into the summer is intense, right? It's I say intense, but in a good way, right? It's just really uplifting, especially with the sun here. But let's look at April per se. So the Knight of Pentacles with that Queen of Cups. If you're single, I feel that someone is coming forward. They're coming to meet you. I really feel like it's a I take a step, you take a step. The same kind of reciprocity kind of thing that we had in March, right? There was already there's a sense that you're meeting people eye to eye. So I think that's really enjoyable for you. Again, it's something that you really cherish in your life. And so for some reason in March it was more I guess idea related, business related, or at least, you know, it was quite platonic per se. But in April, whoever's coming towards you feels much more romantically inclined, much more interested. And it could be vice versa. It could be you slowly wanting to get closer to someone else, right? But there's definitely someone that has sparked your interest. I feel that you are cautious to a degree, but I feel you're extremely open and you're kind of willing, you know. I think you have a little bit of a flirty vibe, but it's very discreet, right? It's very subtle, and it's very Libran actually. It's extremely soft and romantic, and you know, again, the word subtle, right? Libras are not pushy. They love to seduce in the most I don't know, and then in like in really the romantic sense, right? I think that I want to stress that you wouldn't extend yourself towards anyone else, especially we're talking about if it's you extending yourself towards someone else, right? Not the other way around. I think you really enjoy when things develop slowly. I think here with the Knight of Pentacles, I think you love it. I think you really enjoy even letting... I think you like to sense that things are growing and evolving. I don't know, that's the feeling I'm getting. So let's move on to May. The Six of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords. You're very shrewd at this time, but in like shrewd in the sense of I don't know, I'm trying to make sure that it's the right word. Hold on. You know, I mean, this is the Six of Pentacles. All along we've had, you know, from the start of the reading, we've had all these cards about reciprocity, right? Meeting, especially from March and April here. So meeting eye to eye and feeling that it's I mean, and this card is only reinforcing the equal give and take and the beautiful, I want to say, that you've really, you need to know that it's not just a feeling of being equal to others. I really believe there's a fair exchange. So I want to tell you that there's an exchange of feelings, an exchange of goods, an exchange of thoughts, of ideas, right? There's something being traded, right? Being like a trading, like a trade. So I want you to note that. And the reason I mention shrewdness is because of that Queen of Swords. I think that she's, you know, she's particularly fair. I mean, obviously she does, she's like the lower octave of the Justice card here, and she's your card as well, Libra. So I feel that you're using a lot of your logical abilities here to to establish what you find is fair in your exchanges and in those trades that you're establishing. So what's really beautiful here is that it will literally apply to all the different levels of your life, because we're talking exchanges of every kind, right? So it really spills over any area of your life. So it's really particularly, first of all, it's pleasant for you first and foremost, and others as well, right? But I mean, you're absolutely embodying sort of your better qualities kind of thing, right? You are exuding harmony and fairness here, and it's quite spectacular. I mean, it's extremely strong here. So it's I think you feel really good, and it's that King of Wands energy that you're carrying through, right? There's something here that you did in January. You did some inner work and some outside work, right? Some literal, like, what I call outside work, like, you know what I mean? Like your chores, your work, your career, whatever you had to do, your everything physical and 3D versus, you know, the hermit, like the inner work and all the reflection and yeah, all of that inner work. So anyways, let's go back to June here. We have the High Priestess with the sun. What a beautiful marriage kind of thing. It's interesting I said marriage, because obviously it's not the Hierophant, but it feels like a marriage. And it's not literal, it's just symbolically speaking, of course. It could be even sort of a union of your higher, you know, your lower and higher self. It could be the same kind of, again, the two-way street I've been describing all along. I think it's simply like intensifying. So either it takes on the form of one particular relationship that is sort of very representative of how all of these beautiful energies have been spilling all over in your life, but there's one particular relationship, whether romantic or not, that actually stands out and that is like the how do you say? To epitomize, I'm not sure of that word, I'm sorry, but that sort of embodies all of that in, but like more than the others, right? Anyways, so you're feeling again like $1 million, and it comes from being, you know, super aligned in interiorly and being radiant outwardly. So again, you have both. It's interesting, you had the outward, inward here. You keep having all of these. I'm telling you, you're extremely balanced. You're absolutely, you're so even keeled. It's amazing. And so you radiate, you shine, you people are drawn to you. This combination makes you extremely attractive in every sense of the word, right? Beautiful, both in and out. It's quite amazing. And it also could point to success, you know, at every level, in the sense of, you know, you might be having some success in your business, you know, all of this, these beautiful new ideas that you were taking on in March. Maybe there's something happening here in terms of results or where it's going or how it's evolving, how it's growing. But it's definitely, it's growing very healthily and rapidly. That's super interesting. I just want to point out, there were two queens here, but so I mean, you might want to see them as two people in your life. There's also a page, but I just want to stress out that if I was to pinpoint which one is you, the Queen of Cups in this case would be much more you in this read than the Queen of Swords. And I say that because, I mean, I'm sort of going to contradict myself because it's sort of two facets of yourself, right? But at the same time, this queen here was more embodying some of your core values and some of your principles and some of your traits, for me at least. And then here, being on the emotional level and being coupled here with the Knight of Pentacles, I really sense here that you're more of the person, right? It's more, yeah, that's how it feels for me. But I mean, it's really up to you. There's no absolute here. It's for you to make the correlations, right? So let's go to July, the Three of Cups with the Three of Pentacles. This is Libra's dream, right? In the sense that Librans love being surrounded by people as long as the relationships are, good and particularly harmonious. And you also enjoy relationships that are I mean, I could use words like stimulating, gratifying, but I think another thing is it really is, again, I'm going to repeat myself, but it's, you really want to feel like they nourish you and that you can give back as well, right? And I think you really enjoy sharing. So it has to feed your soul. And there's so much joy here, and it's filling you with happiness. Collaborating and participating in a group is, and this group is like 6, right? It becomes like a larger group here. And this, for me tonight on this particular combination, I sense no third party. This is not even close. This is literally a group for me. And because there's 3 cups, it could even be more than 6. You could even double that in my mind. But anyway, that's just a play on numbers, but all up to you again. Or 3 times 3 could be 9 as well. So 6, 9, 12 for me. Anyway. So I just want to point out something here about the Three of Pentacles. There's something about building. So I want you to, I don't know if that resonates at all for you. There's something about architecture, design, industrial design. I'm even going to say fashion, because you can actually, construct clothing. So that's really interesting. And that's really up Libra's alley as well, right? In terms of beauty, colors, movements, anything artistic. And I really sense this vibe here. There's a lot of artistic vibes here. And like I said, it could be architecture, right? Something that's a bit more, how can I say? Doesn't have to be, I mean, it could even be liberal arts. I mean, it's, all the way to liberal arts. But I had this initial building, the word construction. Anyways, August. August. 5 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups in reverse here. So this is your downer month. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's, I mean, I think you kind of needed a little bit of a breather kind of thing. I mean, it might not be super pleasant while it lasts, but I mean, you were just like on such a, you know, like a, how do you say, like a rocket launch there, that I think you needed a little bit to hit some form of plateau, and this is the plateau here. So I think you might have spent a little too much during the summer. You might have been, you might have invested your money into this new endeavor as well, right? So right now you're in a mode of feeling a bit depleted. And for some reason, it's affecting you, obviously, right? I think if it has to do with money, for some reason, it's directly impacting you. It's impacting your good mood. It's making you grouchy. It's making you a bit more irritable. I'm sensing you to be less optimistic, right? Here you were like absolutely convinced nothing could go wrong. A little bit of the invincibility syndrome, but I mean, I'm not saying this in a bad way, just to give you an idea. And I think you feel a little bit like a balloon, like the balloon that goes, you know, a little bit. I don't know how to say that in English. En français, on dit dégonfler. I don't know how to say in English. Anyways, but you know what I mean. So either it's, I want to say it's directly linked to your money, but it could be it could be a sense of self worth, like something is you're doubting yourself on some level. You're sort of questioning your self-worth. And I wonder why. I mean, especially with everything that was going on, and then when I look at what's coming, it's a little bit of a, I think it's only a little phase, because I mean, when I tell you the rest of the cards, you're gonna see it's really like just a little drop in the atmosphere. Like imagine a plane, and then they just hit a little pouch of air, right, and they goes like that. But then the plane gets right back on course. I don't know, that's what it feels like. That's funny. All this talk about air, it's interesting. I mentioned the balloon, and then I mentioned the plane that hits a air pocket. So it's really interesting. You're air sign as well, right? So keep that in mind. Let me see if I can think of how it could translate in your life. It's funny, I just got and sorry to say, but it might be your health, and it might be something to do with your lungs, like you know, asthma, or anyways, it has to do with I think maybe your health a little bit. But I mean, you know, I'm not seeing anything drastic and dramatic here, so don't freak out. It's just the vibe that I got. So let's move on to October here. You have the Ten of Pentacles so the Ten of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands and her little black cat here. And let me tell you the rest, okay? Just to give you, because I might be playing here, going back and forth. So we have October, to remind you, is the Two of Cups. And again, this Knight of Pentacles. So it's right under here as well. And you have Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Two of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. So there's definitely something going on here. The Page of Cups here is clarified by the Emperor. And interesting, look at this. I mentioned to you that you had 2 tens to start, one to start, one to end the reading, one in between. And here you have a 10 of Pentacles, clarifies the 10 of Swords. So it's really interesting. Another, I mentioned the numbers 6, 9, 12, and number 10. And even 40, because there's 4 tens here. 400. Anyway. Really interesting. So, September, 10 of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands. It's really interesting. You sort of had this drop here, right? Which now I think, if it's not money related, is health related, because here your money feels so good. I'm tempted to say that this is really more a health issue here in August, okay? But never mind. It's just my point of view. Please only apply what resonates with you. You're feeling, you had the King of Wands in February, and now you're the Queen of Wands in September. So another beautiful phase where you're extra confident, you feel beautiful. I'm telling you, this is your year in terms of, I think you're going to be really beautiful. I think you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to make yourself beautiful. And you've worked on yourself at the onset of the year, maybe all of 2021 as well, right? Because it's probably something that you've been doing prior, right? And it's only like basically you're reaping your rewards here. Literally, there's like there's great success. There's success. There's success here with the Sun. There's success here with the 10 of Pentacles. And there's love in the air as well, right? And a harmonious work relationship and stimulating projects overall. So, and, you're letting loose. You're letting your hair down. Actually, she's letting her hair down. And, you're shining bright. Shine bright like a starlight. I can't sing, but I do sometimes want to throw in some things. Don't laugh at me, please. Anyways, so, what I like about this 10 of Pentacles coupled with the Queen of Wands is that, I don't know what you're doing, but it's like, I feel I'm hearing the coins fall, like when the coins fall into the slot machine when you win, right? It's like it makes this noise that you've hit the jackpot basically. And that's what it feels like here. It's almost like the projects that were here that you might have been working on, because keep in mind you're working all year, right? Even if we're talking about relationships for particular months, I mean, there's also, it's like having a baseline for work and then a baseline for love, etc., right? So it's all this interplay. And it feels here that in October a lot more money is actually hitting your pockets. That's why it feels like the slot machine with the ding 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 ding. It's finally hitting your pockets. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. It's once it's in your pocket, it's in your pocket. Then it's yours to spend. Okay. Now in October, I hinted before, but I mean, you're like, sorry, you're head over heels here. You're absolutely, for some reason, okay. This is what I'm seeing, this love story, how it's playing in front of me, in front of my eyes. I'm seeing here the approach, because the Knight of Pentacles is the base card and then the Queen of Cups clarifies, right? It feels like the approach, it feels like there's many things, but it feels more of the approach, and maybe you've met them here in April, whoever you're meeting, or whoever you know, or whoever you're starting to have a crush on or whatever. But it's also what I wanted to add, it because it's the Queen clarifying, it feels like it's you having an interest, right? And then here I feel in October like the roles are flipped, and then the Two of Cups being the base, and then this Knight of Pentacles. It's almost like whoever this knight was that was distant is finally here. He's arrived because now he's on top, right? He's clarifying. So it's interesting. It feels like that's it, the approach and then the arrival. But I mean, it's just one storyline. It could be, I just want you to know, it's again, it just feels like this beautiful interplay or exchange. It's just perfectly crisscrossed. I just love it. It really again emphasizes the whole theme of this year for you. It's beautifully balanced. It's beautifully like anybody, any sphere of life, everything you do, everything is full and full of, and I don't need to even qualify because it's full of whatever, you know, dot, 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 put ever, whatever word. And both of this, like all of this fullness on each side, right, is being exchanged. So I just want you to know it's extremely bountiful for you. It feels extremely charged, but in a good way, right? It's let me see, if I have another word. No, for now, no. Let me move on to November. The Page of Cups with the Emperor. So you see the arrival is even more is emphasized here, right? It's this Emperor, he's in your face now. This guy is in your face. He's actually like, he's up close and personal. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. You know what I really like? The arrival is the Knight, but then the person in front of you is an Emperor, and you know, you're like, listen, you have 3 queens, so I mean, you almost are an empress, right? I'm missing 1 queen. The empress is like the 4 queens reunited, so you're almost an empress and you're meeting an emperor, but you do have the sun. So I'm telling you, for me, you're an empress. So you're really meeting your match. It's beautiful. It's so I see flowers. I'm seeing lots of flowers. It's ridiculous. It feels silly, but it's I see so many flowers. It's extremely beautiful. I also see bees. So it makes me think of honey, and it makes me think that all of this this relationship is so sweet. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's really sweet, and not in a cheesy way. Like, it's just oh my God, it's a taste of paradise. Oh my God, Libra, I love it for you. It's so beautiful. It's one of those things. It's like it's almost like a movie, and I don't mean to make it a like a caricature like at all. Like it's just what it feels like, and you're so deserving of it. Honestly, I think it's one of Libra's deep dreams, right? Deep down, like one of your most cherished dreams is to be partnered and to be committed and anyways, it's amazing. And then really interesting, this combo here at the end of the year, the two tens, right? The 10 of Pentacles. Sorry, all of this glare. You know, with the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is harsh, right? It's at first when I put it down, I was like, okay, that's a kind of difficult way to end the year, right? But at the same time, it could be read, you know, you do have oh, so interesting. I've been telling you 10 of Pentacles, and all along it's the King of Pentacles. That is crazy. That's unreal. Okay, let me just backtrack myself. So you have 3 10s on the table, not 4. So forget about 40 and 400. Look at it as 30. And look at it as 333. That's really interesting. That's like having it's like having a mental block, right? And not seeing the card, right? And it's funny because this feels like a block, or at least something that just comes and suddenly it's like you kind of hit a dead end, like there's something that obviously that's really interesting. There's a parallel there with it feels like there might have been something you refused to see. You refused to see, or you refused to. So you might be in denial about something, but whatever that is happening anyway. Okay, so I'm unable to tell you really what it is. It might be because of the King of Pentacles related to a person. And I don't sense that it has anything to do with the love story. Although it's possible, but I mean, it would be so abrupt, right? And it doesn't really correlate for me to have such a beautiful start, or like such a beautiful thing blooming, and like all the flowers that I saw, and to have it just, you know, die suddenly here. It feels more someone outside of you that would embody the King of Pentacle sort of attributes. So a businessman, someone maybe a bit older, someone experienced, someone that could be a mentor to you, or a father figure to some extent. Someone that would have yielded their help. Could be a man, doesn't have to be. Could be also, if it's not a person, it could be an institution. I'm going to get one more card. That's really interesting. It flew out. And look what flew out. This guy just wanted to like jump out, and he feels jumpy, right? He is jumpy. Knight of Wands. That's so interesting. It feels like he's coming to your aid. Like, how can I say he's coming to your rescue? Because he just, whoop, he just popped out. That's so funny. He's rescuing you. From what? Three of Wands. He's rescuing you from a long wait. From waiting in vain for something that has ended. That is quite literal, isn't it? That's really interesting. I'm gonna do something that I haven't done for any other sign, but I will do here. I will open one more card out of this deck. I want to see. Another knight. The Knight of Swords. That is so strange. What is going on here in December? There's a lot of action, I can tell you that. It's like there's a lot of action. It's really interesting. Who are these two knights for you? And even this king, Libra. There's a lot of accelerated movement. It really feels like, it's funny because the Ten of Swords is like a abrupt stop, or like a, how do you say, une coupure, like, anyways. And you also have and then you have this longing or this long wait energy. You know, this man is sitting down, so he's the one that is, you know, he's passive. And then you've got these, so that's the energy that is, these three cards is the energy that is stagnant, or, you know, that doesn't move, right? That is fixed. And here you have these two knights to sort of like, that are pushing, like, that are pressing, or I feel impatience. I feel it's really strange, the mix here. This is becoming a whole other story, all on its own. It's really difficult for me to pinpoint how it could sort of manifest in your life, because, you know, I think the really important thing to remember is this is the trigger, right? The Ten of Swords is like the tipping point. So like something tips over and triggers something, or at least is the reason why there's this energy here. There's like it's the energy that calls in the two knights, the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords here. It feels like a battle. It's really strange. Okay, Last, okay, last card. I just, I'm curious to know, because I said the word battle. Can you clarify, please? The cards won't come out for the word battle, so I need to change the question or put the deck down. I'm going to put the deck down. So I will leave you on that note. Actually, let me just recap quickly, okay? For me, January is a month where you're closing a lot of previous projects. You're tackling a lot of responsibilities, and you're doing extremely good, but hard work. And you're spending more time alone so that you preserve your energy to actually do so. And this empowers you to eventually, you know, once you've completed a few tasks, you finally turn yourself to the outside world, to the outside world, not to the outside word. That's interesting. You open yourself up. You feel extremely confident. You're very proud here, and you're ready to tackle on new projects in March. You're finding a lot of pleasure in exchanging your ideas, and, you know, really collaborating, at least communication wise here, definitely. I believe you have your eye on someone in your surroundings. I think that you are developing quite strong feelings here in April. In May, you embody, I guess, your sign, you know, the amazing qualities of equal give and take, logic applied to your decision making, in all fairness for all. It's beautiful. And it could probably apply both to relationships, but also to your work endeavors. June is just like it's one of the most beautiful months where you're feeling so joyful. You're feeling extremely aligned, balanced. You're happy. I think you're serene, deeply serene, and it's funny because the sun here is you know, the high priestess, you know, being so quiet. You know, she looks so serious sometimes, but you're making her, you're uplifting her, or at least the sun is uplifting her. So it's a beautiful mix of, you know, maybe your more private side, the private side of your personality being a bit more, I don't know, enlivened, right? And if it's not your private side, it's more, maybe more of some of your darker areas, right? That are being, I don't know, they're being warmed, like heated. I don't know. I don't want to say anymore, but you get the gist. And then July is the month where you're like the most social butterfly you've been all year, which is, I mean, you're already like out there, you know, being like this king of wands here. You're like super sociable, you know, you're talkative. With the sun here, you know, you're glowing. But here is definitely, you're really going all around. You know, I did see all of those flowers, and so now I have the butterfly going everywhere. Anyways, this whole reading is like a field, field of flowers. August is the month where you know, you hit sort of a low. I do sense it might be health related. It would be a minor ailment, so no worries there. It's also maybe your mood for some reason. You're doubting yourself. Remember that. I think you're just, I don't know, you're in a little bit of a funk, but it doesn't last, right? It's the only month like that in the whole year. Um, you know, so January is a bit more, you're busy, you're kind of more solitary. Here you're a little down, and December is a whole other ball game, but you know, whatever. September here again, this is the month where you hit the jackpot. So for me so far, March, April, June, July, September are amazing, amazing months. I think you're finally getting paid on something. You know, it makes you feel on top of the world, and you're flaunting, and it's in a good way, right? And I think you have to remember that this year you are really beautiful inside out, and I can't stop stressing that for you. I feel like you're falling in love deeply, and again, I think you met this person in the spring, and however it plays out during the rest of the year, I think that you're really becoming closer to this person here in October as well as November. This is when, you know, it happens. This is 2 months of pure bliss here. It's 2 months of your head over heels, literally. I'm telling you, I see the bees again. It's amazing. I mean, you might not be a bee lover. It's interesting. I just want you to know that bees are, if it wasn't for bees, we wouldn't have a lot of the food that we have on our table, right? Because they pollinize, and this is what helps to have fruits and vegetables. So I always think of bees as quite an important animal in the chain of life, right? In the whole cycle of life on Earth. And for me, when I mention bees here, I want you to know that I hold bees in a high regard. So that's my view on it. So I just want to share with you that if you have a different point of like perspective on that particular insect, I respect that, but I want you to know that I meant it here as the most as a symbol of something that is extremely valuable. So I want you to know that. And then it was the honey with the idea that this is a very sweet relationship. And then here in December, there's a tragedy here, and I'm using that word, please, quote unquote tragedy, with the Ten of Swords here. And it could be, you know, and I don't want to bring this on, knock on wood, but it could be a death, someone you know. It might not be that, but there's something that something quite important happens somehow, whichever don't like area of your life, but I don't sense that it has anything to do with the love relationship. That's my take, but it's hard to tell, right? But whatever event happens here in December, there's definitely this idea that, okay, before I had this little sub story of saying to you that, let's say you were embodying, or you're embodied by the King of Pentacles. So your stability hasn't been affected by this tragedy, but yet someone comes to your rescue. And then when I asked why, it was to save you from a long wait. That's the story I came up with initially. But it could also be read as whatever happens here that is difficult for you in December, I think you are getting the support of others, because I can't stop thinking that this is help coming to you. But I also think that this might be you turning your eyes towards the future, towards the new year starting, because this might be such a difficult ending that I think to regain hope, you need to turn your eyes and look forward. So that's another way of looking at it, right? And then I wanted some clarification, and I pulled this Knight of Swords, and I think that there's either rapid communication, like news. It might have, you know, it is one of those cards, right? So if I couple these, maybe it tells us more about the tragedy. Maybe it tells us that this is something that happens really, really quickly. It comes in the form of you get a news of this tragedy, right? I mean, there's so many ways to read this little mini story, but I just want you to know that it ends on a positive note. You're getting help. You have maybe help from 2 different people. Anyways, it's still a bit nebulous, but this is what I'm getting. And being far in the year like that, maybe it's not even worth exploring too much, you know. Energies do shift. So by that time, maybe it would be something very different, you know, in a year from now. So that's what it is for now. So I don't know. I want to maybe it's funny because okay, this is why I paused. This year feels very, very how do you say, it feels very defining for you, okay? It feels very special. So I just want you to know that it feels difficult to read December when all of this was so amazingly positive. So it is sort of like a wrench being thrown here, like, you know, like a poke in the wheel kind of energy here. So I don't want you to stay on that note, although we're ending on that note. I want you to remember that no matter what happens here, if you think back to everything I've said, I hope you can see how defining and how, I don't know, this, yeah, I think it's a turning point. There's something, it's a significant year for you. End of story. So I will see you next time. If you've listened to the whole reading, I thank you for that. I really appreciate. And if you did enjoy it, please like the video, please share, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And on that note, good night.